Know that sinking feeling when your carefully planned community improvements just aren't showing results fast enough? When board members, investors, or even family members start questioning your leadership because they can't see immediate progress? You know you're on the right track, but that pressure to show results now can feel overwhelming. Community improvement doesn't happen overnight. Whether you're managing a condo association, manufactured housing community, or apartment complex, we often fall into what I call the timeline trap. We put artificial deadlines on processes that simply can't be rushed. Think about it. Problems that took years to develop aren't going to be fixed in a matter of weeks. When you're implementing a strategic plan to reduce delinquencies, improve resident satisfaction, or upgrade facilities, the path isn't a straight line. It's more like navigating a maze. You turn a corner expecting to see daylight, only to find another corridor ahead. Success in community management means spotting those subtle green shoots of progress. Maybe delinquency rates initially spike as you enforce policies. That's actually normal. As you implement changes, focus on what's working rather than fixating on what hasn't improved yet. Financial stability forms the foundation of any thriving community. Take the case of one property that battled high delinquency rates for years. The pattern was frustratingly cyclical. Rates would occasionally dip, only to climb right back up as residents cycled through. With inconsistent collection practices, delinquency remained stubbornly stuck in the high teens to mid-20s. A determined community manager implemented proper discipline over a 6-month period. This meant actively partnering with attorneys during court proceedings, coordinating closely with collection staff, and firmly resetting resident expectations about payment consequences. The challenge was significant. Residents had grown accustomed to sharing creative excuses, paying whenever was convenient, and getting late fees waived. The results spoke volumes. Through consistent enforcement, delinquency dropped dramatically from over 20% to around 7%. Despite this remarkable improvement, it still fell short of the company's 4% standard. Week after week, leadership berated the manager for not hitting this target, seemingly blind to the tremendous progress already achieved. Their patience eventually ran out. They terminated the manager leading the collection effort and abandoned the strategy entirely. The predictable result? Delinquency rates quickly climbed back to previous levels. Think of it like a rubber band. Unless you hold it in its stretched positions long enough, it simply snaps back to its original form. Partial implementation doesn't just deliver incomplete results. It often delivers zero lasting results until the situation reverts completely back to where you started. True transformation requires following through until new standards become permanent. I'm going to preface this by saying I'm a basketball and sports fan in general, so this is going to be a few sports examples here. When stakeholders demand timelines, take a page from the Detroit Pistons. They just had a new leadership change, and the new leadership refused to put artificial deadlines on their rebuild. They had to get rid of a bunch of players and bring in a bunch of new players to get a better team. Instead, they committed to implementing the right foundations for sustainable success, however long that might take. The Detroit Lions professional football team offers another powerful example. For years, they were consistently among the worst teams in football, historically bad. When new leadership with a clear vision was brought in, there was a tremendous pressure placed on that new management regime. In the middle of year 2, without significant results, local fans and sports commentators clamored for ownership to fire that leadership team. They hadn't won hardly at all the first year and a half. They wanted management to have arbitrary deadlines, like if they don't win the Thanksgiving game, everybody should be gone. I still remember that conference leading up to the Thanksgiving game. That Detroit Lions football coach, who's now regarded as one of the most outstanding coaches in football, as we're speaking today, at that time was so visibly emotional after losses, he was actually crying. 6'7", 250-pound guy, beard, tough guy. couldn't contain himself. But he wasn't crying for himself. He was crying for his players, who he thought had fully bought into his program. And they were giving them maximum effort, but they still weren't winning yet. You hear that word? Yet. We're doing all the right things, but we haven't won yet. Critics mistakenly labeled him as an overly emotional crybaby who couldn't perform, when in reality, his passion demonstrated his deep commitment to the team's success. Ownership saw this commitment and resisted the calls for change, kept hands off, and allowed the leadership to continue executing their vision. Then something remarkable happened. Success didn't come incrementally, but arrived like a switch flipping on. They began winning big almost overnight. Had ownership pulled the trigger too soon, they would have hit the reset button and returned to square one. Just like that community that undid all the delinquency progress by terminating the manager prematurely. As a community leader, you need similar courage. When asked, how long will this take? Resist the pressure to give a specific date. Instead, communicate your progress, show evidence of incremental progress, and remind everyone that lasting change requires patience and persistence. Take a moment to evaluate your community improvement strategy using these 3 questions. First, can you spot any green shoots of success? And for those who don't know, green shoots are the things when you plant something in the ground, you see something coming up through the ground that's green. You know you've got something. Second, have you surrounded the community with quality professionals who truly understand the vision? And third, is there a real commitment to follow the strategy all the way through, even when progress seems slow? Remember, community leadership isn't about quick fixes. It's about creating sustainable value by persisting until you reach your goals. As Jim Rohn, the renowned business philosopher and motivational speaker who mentored countless entrepreneurs, wisely taught, until is the magic word that separates success from failure. Just as no mother would tell her baby to stop trying to walk, we must maintain that same resolve with our communities. Keep implementing, keep enforcing, keep believing until the results come. Not for a week, not for a month, but until the job is done completely. If you found this perspective valuable, we invite you to connect with us. Facebook viewers, like our page and follow us for regular updates. Feel free to message us directly with your questions or community challenges. Instagram viewers, hit follow and feel free to DM us with your questions or community challenges. YouTube viewers, subscribe to our channel and check out the video description for helpful links. Visit our website to discover our thought leadership content, books, and resources that can transform your community management approach. Whether you're dealing with the challenges we discussed today or other community issues, we're here to help. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.